So another thing that people were sending a bunch of questions or writing on the post were saying, well, if everyone gets held back, then what's the advantage? The advantage is the development. That's all that matters. It doesn't matter if you're older. There's a lot of kids that are always older, right? There's kids that don't get held back and who are older and who still suck. Being older means nothing. The reason why you come to Winter Circle Prep Academy is for the development. It's for the maturity. It's for the resources. It's about building the perfect athlete. And the more time we have with you to develop you and build you up, you're going to be on the fast track to where you want to go. So yes, if everyone decides to get held back and if everyone wants to be 18 turning 19-year-olds in high school, guess what it comes back to? It comes back to the development. The same thing before kids got held back. Even though kids been getting held back for years, the Carson Palmers, the Marinoviches, all these different guys, right? For years, these kids have been getting held back at these private schools in Orange County, and no one even knew about it because they would go to a private school about it. Now we're public about it. Now we're promoting it. Now we're talking about the success. So everyone has something to say now because they whether they might not hold their kid back or a holdback kid took their spot, whatever. But if everyone decides to get held back, now it's going to come back to the development, which is why Winter Circle is the best at what we do, because we develop kids better than anybody. So if everyone's an 18-year-old senior and everyone plays 14U football at 14 years old, instead of going to high school at 12 years old or 13 years old, they actually maximize their youth football career playing 12 years old and 13 years old and 14U football, and they all go to high school at 14, meaning they're going to be an 18-year-old senior turning 19 when they graduate. Guess what? It doesn't matter about the age. It matters about the development. There's so many kids out here that go to all these other academies here in California that get held back, but they don't have nutrition. They don't have training. They have trainers that don't know what they're doing. They don't understand the education. They're just wasting their time doing a whole back year. There's a ton of those kids. Those programs don't have success. They're not pumping out kids like we do, which is why no one's talking about them and everyone talks about Winter Circle, because not only do we hold our kids back, we give them the cheat code, we give them the blueprint, we give them every resource possible, which is why we've had the #1 player in California every single year, not just in one position, but pretty much every position across the board, because it comes down to the development. It's not always about being older. So the people out there who just are saying, well, if everyone's held back, then what's the advantage? Well, the advantage is coming to Winter Circle. The advantage is development. Everything about getting held back is about your development. It's not about being an older kid. We did a video talking about kids that aren't mentally prepared. They're not ready to go. The same kids that don't bring their shaker cup to school, the same kids who don't take their nutrition, the same kids who don't take their supplements, those kids won't be successful. And we had a whole bunch of people write on the page and say, why are these kids taking supplements? Why are they taking nutrition? Why are they doing this? What you got to understand, right? When you sent your kids home from the hospital, right? The parents out there who have kids, the doctors told them to take supplements and vitamins, Flintstone vitamins, nutrition, omegas, BCAAs, all these different things. At one point in your kids' process, you just stopped giving it to them. Then you started giving them Doritos, right? You started giving them Gatorades with the red dye, the blue dye, the green dye, all these different things that's messing up their body. Right? So when we talk about nutrition and supplements, we're not talking about the Arnold Schwarzenegger era for all the meatheads out there who are pumping creatine into their body and doing those things. We're talking about the basic essentials to what kids need to be able to operate and to be able to recover their body and to be able to perform, whether it's BCAAs for hydration, whether it's protein to recover, whether it's multivitamins, whether it's fish oils, omega-3, 6s, and 9s, right? The nutrition supplementation umbrella is huge. So we're not talking about giving them supplements that's going to mess up their bodies. We're talking about just your day in and day out, the vitamins and the supplementation, the nutrition that they need. We have a chef on staff. We have a dietitian. We have supplementation. We have an M-body scan, right? You need to be putting stuff into your body. If you think you're going to come to school here, you're going to go to school half the day, you're going to train half the day, then you're going to go to practice a couple more hours after school. You have to put the right stuff in your body. You have to hydrate your body. You need BCAAs, you need multivitamins, you need fish oils, you need omega-3, 6s, and 9s. You need to eat and put the proper stuff in your body from food. Do we want to go eat a Big Mac, or do we want to go and give them proper nutrition and proper food that can fuel their body? Every kid that we have in our program, we're trying to create a world-class athlete, and we treat them like a Ferrari. We treat them like a Lamborghini. So if you want to put 87 gas in your car and you're trying to be a Ferrari, the car is not going to operate right. The car is going to break down, right? So we want to make sure we're putting the proper supplementation and nutrition to become a world-class athlete, to hydrate in the right way, to replenish them, give them the proper brain function, to give them what their body needs to be able to perform at that level. The kids that are in our program are not normal, right? They're not the 99%, they're the 1%. They're the kids who are working their butts off all day, and they're going to be the kids that you guys are watching on TV and you're reading about because they've been putting the right stuff into their body since day one. So we want to make sure we put the proper 91 gas instead of 87. We want to make sure they have the best oil, the biggest brakes on their car, the best tires. That's what it's talking about when we say we want to put nutrition and we want to make sure there's supplementation. We want to make sure that they have the proper dietitian, the proper food that's being made for them, because we're creating Lamborghinis and we're building Ferraris. And the only way you could do that is having proper supplementation and nutrition in your body. This isn't 1980. This isn't 1990 when you grew up. The whole game has changed, and there's nutrition and there's supplementation that kids need to be taking every single day if they want to perform at a high level. So example, the kids that are in our academy are 3rd grade through 8th grade. The first thing they do is when they come in the building, they have a shaker cup. They go into the nutrition room and they get their BCAAs, they get their multivitamins, they get their fish oils. It's called a core 4. That's 3 of the core 4s that they're going to get: BCAAs, branched chain amino acids, fish oils, omega-3, 6s, and 9. They put water in their shaker cup. They put the BCAAs in their drink. They drink their BCAAs. They take their fish oils and they take their multivitamins. That's your standard supplementation. Then after their workout, they put water back in their shaker cup. They get a scoop of protein. They drink their protein. That's their core 4. That's the foundation of what the athlete needs so their body can run at the right level. So when the people are saying, what are you giving these kids? We're giving them the proper nutrition and we're supplementing it with what they're not getting from the food that they're eating. So the kids that are here all day working, you meet with your nutritionist, you meet with your dietitian, you meet with your chef. You got a full game plan that's provided for you. So we know who you are. Are you gaining weight? Are you losing weight? Are you a vegan? What are you and what's going on with your body, so we could properly fuel your body like a sports car so you could perform at optimal level every time you're on the training surface, every time you're in the weight room, every time you're out there playing. You should constantly be worried about and focus on what you're putting into your kid's body so they can perform at the highest level.